Bullish AMP cost forecasts range somewhere in the range of $0.023618 and $0.044611 by 2030. Market examiners accept AMP could reach $0.018369 by 2025. Bearish AMP market cost expectation for 2023 is $0.004199. AMP presentation. Clients have become used to paying expeditiously and the independence from worry over security while making buys. This is somewhat more trying for blockchains. Nonetheless, AMP is utilizing collateralization through its AMP token to ensure that network clients will not need to pick either speed and security. Despite the fact that the security token was just presented toward the finish of 2020, it has gained incredible headway. The organization is as of now being utilized by more than 40,000 areas, and its digital money is beginning to build up forward momentum. Might we at any point figure the cost of AMPs? And is the token a method for installment later on? What is AMP? In the space of cryptography, there is banter about whether to put security or speed first. To guarantee the well-being of each and every exchange, security is required. However, speed is fundamental for the broad reception of a blockchain. Collateralization is AMP's response to this issue. Clients can wager cryptographic money with every exchange to guarantee that it will finish. The maker of Fleexa organization, Tyler Spalding, additionally established AMP. It is built on the Fleexa organization and records two basic roles. While people can involve AMP for secure and quick exchanges from their own resources, consolidating Fleexa with AMP is workable for vendors to ensure that installments are paid progressively. AMP specialized examination. Specialized examination shows that since its send-off, the AMP cost has moved generally high and low. The coin's process started at $0.0095, and as per verifiable records, it kept up with this cost for a long time. Afterward, it showed an unexpected increment and crossed $0.039. It then, at that point, continued with moderate exchanging after that. AMP arrived at a record high of $0.1211. Nonetheless, following that, the coin had a precarious decay and retested around $0.039. AMP central examination. AMP's white paper contends that it fills in as a vehicle for gathering esteem, while matching the motivations, everything being equal in dispersed tokenized monetary organizations. This is finished by joining a non-inflationary motivator conveyance with positive input circles of rising spending capacity. Fundamental financial models are created to show that AMP proceeds as low unpredictability security, with its worth becoming simply because of the utility it offers. By empowering decentralized possession and support in monetary organizations, applications based on AMP can become significant degrees more expense-effective than existing frameworks, and assist with wiping out the mind-boggling extra weight loss of customary social and monetary designs for monetary exchanges. The archive proceeds. AMP current cost. For AMP, there are clashing expectations from investigators, with some expecting accomplishment, while others anticipating approaching destruction. In one view, AMP is portrayed as a poor venture by wallet investor who accepts it will drop most of its worth after some time. AMP is as of now worth $0.005248 United States dollars. AMP has moved 1.16% as of now, with an exchanging volume of $24,311,756. AMP is as of now position 148 among all digital currencies, with a market capitalization of $248,468,470 United States dollars. Using the overall strength file, RSI moving weighted normal, MWA, Williams fractal, and moving normal intermingling disparity, MACD, from the graph above, we can decide cost designs for AMP. To conclude, we either having a bullish or negative year is going. Our cost expectation figures utilize continuous AMP market information, and all information is refreshed live on our site. This permits us to give dynamic cost forecasts in light of current market action. AMP value expectation 2023. AMP, from certain perspectives, is one of the most astonishing digital forms of money to rise this year. The AMP cost gauge for 2023 expects a critical expansion in the year's last part, conceivably coming to $0.007873. Likewise with other digital currencies, the ascent will be continuous, yet no significant drops are normal. Averaging $0.007348 in cost is very aggressive, yet it is possible sooner rather than later, given expected joint efforts and headways. AMP is supposed to have a base worth of $0.006298. AMP Value Expectation 2024. In 2024, AMP cost expectation has a lot of space for extension. Because of the possible declarations of various new organizations and drives, we guess that the cost of AMP will before long outperform $0.013121. Nonetheless, we ought to hold back to check whether the AMP's general strength record emerges from the oversold zone prior to putting down any bullish wagers. Taking into account the market instability, AMP will exchange with a base exchanging cost of $0.010497 and a typical exchanging cost of $0.011546. AMP Value Expectation 2025. In the event that the vertical pattern go on until 2025, it could reach $0.018369 and AMP might benefit. On the off chance that the market encounters a downfall, the objective may not be met. AMP is supposed to exchange at a typical cost of $0.016795 and a low of $0.015745 in 2025. AMP Value Expectation 2026. Assuming AMP effectively helps market feeling among cryptographic money aficionados, the AMP coin cost could stay stable for the following 5 years. As per our projections, AMP will be green in 2026. The AMP is supposed to reach and outperform its record-breaking high in 2026. In 2026, the virtual cash will be valued at $0.023618 with a base cost of $0.020994 and a typical cost of $0.022043. AMP Value Expectation 2027. After some broad determining and specialized examination, we gauge the AMP cost is supposed to cross a normal value level of $0.027292 by 2027. With a base cost of $0.026242 anticipated before the year's end. Moreover, AMP has a greatest value worth of $0.028866. AMP Value Expectation 2028. Because representing things to come organizations that are supposed to occur by 2028, we are expecting that a bullish pattern will keep carrying the typical cost to around $0.032540. In the event that AMP figures out how to break the safe level in 2028, we could see a most extreme cost of $0.034115, neglecting to accumulate the help AMP needs by 2028. Could bring about a low of $0.031490. AMP Value Expectation 2029. While AMP is endeavoring towards interoperability between organizations to hurry association, the bullish pattern from the earlier year is supposed to proceed. So the base exchange cost has been set at $0.036739 and a yearly cost close above $0.039363 in 2029. AMP Value Forecast 2030. By 2030, AMP will at long last outperform its past ATH values and record new cost levels. The base cost could be 0.